Hello, 8th grade science students and parents. So what I'm going to show you today is kind of a little tour of Canvas and how Canvas works for me, so it's a little bit easier for you to understand how to use my system, and hopefully this makes it a little easier for you to hopefully it makes it easier for the students to do their work so they can use this video for help, but also for the parents to assist students when they become frustrated. So 3 big things. I'm going to show you how to get to Canvas. So I have kind of 3 different ways to do that. I'm going to show you how to find the assignments, and then I'm going to show you kind of 3 types of assignments that I typically use. They're all assignments that they're all types of assignments that we've done in class multiple times. So I would expect the students to be familiar with these, but if for some reason they forget or they're not as comfortable, this gives them a chance to kind of get a little update, kind of a review. So first, there's 3 main ways to get in. So the first one is if they want to go through Launchpad. I think there's been some problems with that, but they can still go through Launchpad. So the first thing you're going to do is sign in. And when they sign in, it may take a moment, but it's going to give them a whole bunch of tiles. I'm going to have some different ones because I'm a teacher, but the Canvas one is usually towards the top, and it's kind of this red circle icon looking like this. And if they double click on that, it should open up Canvas. Okay, let's say that doesn't work. There's a couple more options. So option 2 is that they can just use the URL. So the link for Canvas for our district is rsd.instructure, instructure.com, and that will take them there. That's what I usually use because my computer mostly remembers it. But there's one more kind of key option for them, and that's that if they go to any new tab, there should be something that says rsd.edu bookmarks on their Chromebook if they're using their school Chromebook. And if they open that up, the 4th item down will be Canvas. So there's your 3 ways of getting on Canvas: using the link, using the bookmark, or going through Launchpad. Okay, now that we're in, they're going to see a set of tiles, probably 2 or 3, maybe more, depending upon how many of their teachers are using Canvas. I have several tiles for a couple different things. We're going to look at my physical science middle school one. The tile for that, the picture should be the same for all the kids, but I think they can choose the color. So the picture for my 3rd, 4th, and 5th period classes is some lightning bolts, and my image for my 1st and 6th period is a NASA shuttle. So I'm going to go ahead and go into this Canvas right here. All they got to do is click, and it'll take them into the class. So a quick tour of the classroom. So I've adjusted things since we've kind of gone on our unexpected break. At the very top are the links to the Zoom meetings. So we're doing Zoom meetings on Mondays and Tuesdays, and that's really for them to bring questions. So if they have something that they're stuck on from the previous week, they have a way to check with me or ask questions so that they don't have to feel frustrated or left behind. They can jump on and ask for some help. Now, nobody's required to be there, so if they don't have questions, they don't have to. Or if they just want to jump on, ask their question, and jump back off, that's fine as well. That's up to them. Okay, so the next thing is I have divided the work into weeks. And initially, I was trying to make sure I had 4 or 5 different small assignments for them to do each week, basically a small thing each day. Our school has then decided that Mondays and Tuesdays are for science. I'm still posting those small assignments because it's supposed to be a certain amount per class. And the goal now is for me to post all those assignments on Mondays so that they can do all of them all at once. So the very first week we were out, there's some week 1 material. If they haven't done anything, they should start there. Hopefully they're a little bit further than that. Okay, there's week 2 and week 3. And then we took our spring break. So there's a couple things to notice here is that I'm going to go through the different kinds of assignments. I'm going to simplify things. The Science News Mondays are going to be in the announcements instead, so this doesn't look so complicated. So let's go ahead and go past spring break to what they look like now. So week 4, we had our lab. So the lab assignment was posted on Monday. There's 3 more little assignments. And then the lab to go number 1, just results, was on Friday. So they didn't have to do anything new. They just had to kind of finish up their lab. Now, we're on week 5. So if students can't find the stuff on Canvas, I would recommend you use the Control F. So when you press Control F on your computer, it brings a little box up at the top, and I can search for anything I want. So if we know that we're on week 5, it's going to take me right there, and I don't have to hunt for things. Okay, so that's a little trick that may be helpful. And then right now I have the assignments marked as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's not meant to be confusing. It's just to show the order. And since I'm posting them all at once, they can do them all. I'm probably going to switch to a number order so that students don't think they have to do it on those days. Okay, so let's talk about the different kinds of assignments now that we kind of know where to go. So the first kind is just a text box. So if we go to Making Covalent Compounds number 1, which is the very first assignment for week 5, it's going to have a little video. So there's about a 4 or 5 minute video that I made so that the students are still getting instruction right from me. And it has first the little video, and then there's 4 questions for them. At first, it's going to look kind of strange to them because there's no spot initially for them to answer this. If I were to go in the student view, there's going to be a little box right up here. For me, it says publish because I published the assignment, but it's going to say submit. You have to click that first. It will open a text box for them, and then they will be able to answer those questions and submit them. So this way, it's just right in Canvas. There's nothing special about it. They've done this 3 or 4 times in class at least. Okay, second kind of assignment. So let's actually go back and look at the lab from last week. So the lab from last week is probably the most common type of assignment that they saw while we were teaching live, and that's where I give them a document. It generates the document for them in Canvas, and they just have to fill in their answers. So, and then when they're all finished, they just have to submit it. So if I go down to week 5, I'm going to jump back up to week 4. So lab to go number 1. So simple reactions. When we open this assignment, there's some instructions. Again, there's kind of a video to introduce the lab. So I'm doing a lot of videos so that they can get that instruction right from me. And then the assignment is actually going to populate right underneath. And that's a document they can type right in it on Canvas, or I'll show you in a moment, they can click on the link. There's a little blue link here, and that's going to show up in another tab. And I think it is a little bit easier for them to work in another tab, because otherwise it's in a very small window. So simple reactions lab to go is their assignment. You can see it's giving them the little Google document. I'm going to go ahead and click on that link right away. Now that it's already loaded, it should work pretty well. So it's going to open that in another tab for me, and it's going to show that lab. And the lab just has some pre-lab questions. Sometimes I have some reading to do. Sometimes the pre-lab might come from my video. There'll be some observations they have to make, and then there'll be some post-lab questions. There'll be 3 or 4 things they have to answer once they finish the lab to show that they've kind of understood how the lab works. So in this, they can type right in this assignment. So I can do a quick example for you guys. So if I type example into the first question, and I go back to Canvas, and we look at the document that's loaded there, we can scroll down, and this is where you're going to see that it's not the best to do the assignment in here because it is a very small window. If we scroll down, we can actually see that the question is filled in by me right there. So you can kind of see that it filled it in, so they can do it in another tab. And when they come back to submit this, all they have to do is at the very top when they're done, they'll click submit, and underneath the little blue link right here, it's going to say submitted at this time, and then they know that they've submitted it. Okay, last type of assignment. The final type of assignment is, I think, the kind that this is the one that we haven't done as much in class, and that's where I give them a link to a document, and they're going to have to print it or answer on a separate piece of paper. So just have it on their screen, answer the questions on a separate piece of paper, or if they really want to, they can make a copy of it digitally and answer it digitally. But the reason I'm posting the assignments this way is because I think it's something they need to write or draw. So if we look at Making Covalent Compounds number 2, which is week 5's second assignment, so we're going to open that up. It's going to show a different type of assignment. So this assignment says, please watch the video below. So there's going to be a video that shows here. Again, I would watch this full screen. That makes it a little bit easier for them to see everything. So the video is embedded in the assignment, and then complete the worksheet at this link. You will either need to print the worksheet or complete it on a separate piece of paper. I will be providing a key in the next couple days for you to check your work. So if they click on the link, that's going to open up the assignment. And if they can print from their device, great. If they can't, they could access Canvas on a different computer and print from there. I'm going to hopefully start sending PDFs of these worksheets to the parents so that you can print these for them if that happens to be easier for you. I'm also planning on sending the keys to the parents or the solutions guides so that you can help them check their answers. So now that I've opened up the assignment, I can click File and then go down to Print if I want. If students are really ambitious and they want to try to do this in a different way, they can go to Make a Copy right here. And that will allow them to make a copy of the assignment of their own, and they can type in their answers. In this particular case, they're drawing diagrams, so that's why I really want them to be able to do this in a hard copy. Print's down here, so they can click on that and print the document if they want to do that in that way. And like I said, option 2 is totally fine, where they just get a separate piece of paper, look at the questions on the screen, and write down their answers on that separate piece of paper, and then check with the answer key. So finally, this is kind of a big hint, is that if you're wondering how to find the assignments that are sort of printable or intended to be printed, they will have a key after them. So that means that when I scroll down here, you're going to see that prior to week 5, so starting with the Ionic stuff, I'm going to send the keys home. So I may not post them on Canvas because you're going to have access. I probably will eventually so that students can check their answers. But if there's a key right afterward, and you'll see that I've indented it one extra level. So the key for the covalent bonding with Lewis dot diagrams, I'm going to post that probably tomorrow so the kids can check their answers. That's indented one more level, so you know that the previous assignment has to be one that they can print. Just as another example, if we scroll up to week 3, you can see there's a key for the Lewis dot diagram practice worksheet. That means there's a printable worksheet in the assignment Lewis dot diagram practice. Okay, so that was a lot of information all at once. So hopefully we can access Canvas, we can find the assignments for each week, and we understand how to do the kind of the 3 main types of assignments that I post. Hopefully that's very helpful. If you have questions, feel free to email me, and I'll try to work you through any of the struggles that you're having. Stay safe and healthy out there.